that which cannot prove the test of time. You see? If you don't have no integrity, you have a weak heart. From you don't have no morals, it's weak heart thing. You know, see it from there's no righteousness, it's weak heart. So I burn out all weak heart conception right now. For when you conceive something, you're giving it birth. Remember that. Birth is a conception, and it must manifest and take on to itself flesh. You see? So I burn it out before it can take on flesh. You know, see it? So I say, burn out all weak heart conception right now. Haile, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. And plenty time, the I and the I here on Rastafari Rising. Just blaze plenty fire on the Pope. Yeah, the Pope. I just blaze plenty fire upon the Pope. And you may say at home, for those who are really not up on the true history or the true reality of the Pope and the Pope of Rome and where it really stands for. You may say, what has the Pope ever done to you? What is these old Pope? But they never did nothing to you. Why are you burning fire on the Pope? What does the old little feeble man ever do to you? You see, what are they doing to you? Burn the Pope? I burn the Pope with a perpetual unceasing heat right now, indescribable heat upon Pope of Rome. And what it stands for? Yes, we know that the Pope from such time represent the idea and the imagery of God on earth. You see? The Pope title is Vicarius Filii. You see? And you find, say, you will accept that the Pope, you will say that the Pope is the vicar of Christ. And people will accept that. You see? And people will say the Pope cannot make any mistakes. You see, the Pope is beyond reproach. You see? But as long as the image and the ideal of perfection and righteousness and integrity is the image of the Pope, I go and burn it out. You know, see it. But I stand firm within I own integrities, I own dominions, and I own African theocracy, Rastafari. I know about the Almighty long time before there was a Rome, before Remus and Romulus ever come, who was sucking on the breast of a wolf and established Rome civilization. Remember them guys there, Remus and Romulus, the founders of Rome civilization. They say it was raised by wolves, right? Yeah. Some wolf man. Wolf man, right? Yeah. If you're sucking on the breast of wolf, yeah, a werewolf, you're sucking on wolf breast and wolf raised you, so you must a wolf man. You see? But that is another thing for another day. You know, see? But just to bring some light for some of the questions as it pertains to when Rastafari just reason of burning out weak heart conception. You see? And I will just put in some light there. And also as it relates to the papacy and Rome. You see? And I know about Rome from such time. And I just burn Rome, for we know that is the seat of the fallen angel. You see it? That is the seat of the devil incarnate himself. Just as God have his throne upon earth, you know, say, the devil have his throne on earth too. And just as God is manifested as a man in flesh, just like Satan is manifested in earth in the flesh. You see? And where him stand for, where it stand for from such time, yeah, it's bigger than a person. Have gone out and deceived all of the nation. So I know, say, from such time, Rome has been an enemy of I. Ethiopians from such time. Look into the history, you will see. Traditional enemy of I is Italy from such time. Yeah, so I trample the dragon right now and burn out Rome and all false prophet. Not just the Pope of Rome. All false prophet. All false prophet get lightning right now, no wrath right now. Yeah, black and white, non-partial Armageddon judgment. Haile. Selassie the first. Peace and love, my brothers. Aye. Just for touch a little light. Yeah. So I would like for reasons of some of His Majesty's speech, for it is always appropriate every time for looking to the words of His Majesty, Haile Selassie the first, Rastafari. Haile. Selassie the first. Yes, I. Now, this reasoning why I will really be going up into this light pertains to judges, you see, and the law, and these things like that. For we find that Babylon shitty and Babylon shits them, them say is based upon law. You see? A lie? It's law, right? Because, yeah, because, all right, law and order. All right, good. No order, but law. Law. Well, anyway, Rastafari, kill, cramp, and paralyze all we got right now. Hot fire, yeah. So, I'm going to reason upon the topic of judges. You see? Yeah. For we find that there are many false judges in this earth right now. Some of them even amongst I and I own people. You see? Yeah. And the law and these type of things. So I and I will just go into some of His Majesty reasoning on the topics of judge. You see? For I hear a lot of man quick for come ball out, thou shalt not judge. Thou shalt not judge, and this, that, and that, and third. And who is you to judge? Ray. You see it? Fire, man. Burn out. I and I come for judge, execute the judgment, man. What do you mean? I and I come for execute the judgment upon the heathen, as it is written. How you mean? Big chain of lightning, man. All right. Haile, Rastafari. This is pertaining to judges and the law. It is an accepted criterion all over the world to elect judges on the basis of their merit and not on any other consideration. Did I see it? It's been a tradition, an accepted criterion around the world to elect judges. You see it? In the courts and these systems, you see the courts and judges. You see it? But the basis of where you elect judges shall be upon their merit. You see? As on the merit. I mean, you have to earn that. You can't become judge just because you're in a secret society or just because you're in a Mason. You see? Or because you buy out somebody or because you got money. Those are not accepted criteria for being no judge. You know, Rastafari. Because you're going to come with false judgment. In Ethiopia, the kings received their mission from God and the allegiance of their people because they have faith in the justice of their actions. You see? In Ethiopia, the kings received their mission from God. In other words, you see, the kings, not only in Ethiopia, but the kings throughout the world, or the concept of kings or of rulers, you see, is basically going to bring you all the way to the fullness is that the king represents a divine emanation of God amongst the people. You see, within African tradition. You see, but in the so-called caveman tradition, you're going to find that the king in the caveman people tradition is represent the devil. Rastafari. Yeah. But in the king in African traditions always had divine, you know what I mean, irids within that said fullness. You see? Yeah, because trust me, if the king wasn't right, the people would kill him. Get rid of him. Long time. Africa ain't going to stand for them things there within, what them say, the uncontaminated thing. Or born contamination. Receive their mission from the kings and the allegiance of the people they have faith in the justice